Hey guys, it's Shiny Jilzia, and I'm here to make an actual call out to a lot of artists that I actually follow on DeviantArt and so forth, or people who do reviews here on YouTube. And I know it's really weird. And I'd like to make a definite call out to a couple of artists whom I know that really do respect me. And the first one I will make a good comment to is a lovely person who hates a lot of people who say edgy things about their characters, makes fun of them for being ex-butler boss, which would be Pentagrin. Now, Pentagrin actually has a good sense in what art should really be. That there's really no way to copy someone's style, because there's always going to be a million different people out there who draw in different ways. You can't really yell at them. You can't really tell them, oh, you're copying this person's style, when they're not. They're not copying. In fact, some people do say imitation is one of the kinder forms of flattery. That is, if the imitation is done right. Sometimes it's a little insulting. But another reason I can say this out loud is that this person has taken time to at least see the gift that was mentioned within a live stream, no less. I got noticed plenty of times, and I almost never get noticed during art live stream by anyone that I've actually drawn for. Pentagrin, on the other hand, noticed me during the live stream and even took a look at the stuff that was drawn for them after they'd promised to, and I find that to be really, really good. Now, another thing about them is that I like that their characters are actual rip-offs, considering the story from Black Butler was sort of based on the same story that they're making their narrative on. Very well put. I like their story better. Yes, Pentagrin, I'm not kissing up. I do like yours better than Black Butler, and this is coming from someone who watched all of them. Yes, including that cursed middle. I hate that one. Why did they invent that? Anywho, and the other person I'd like to critique on, or at least make a good shout out to, would be, it's actually two people I watch a lot, which would be Solar Sands and DeviantCringe. These two people make a great point to people who are on DeviantArt or anywhere else who do fetish art for money when they're desperate. I mean, I can understand as an artist who doesn't make a lot of money on their art right now, that money's kind of a big deal. Without it, you can't really pay bills, you can't pay for food, you can't pay for, well, more art supply depending on the way you draw, and kind of sucks. So you do what you gotta do, but yeah, they have a good point. Don't waste your talent on something so petty. Like, if you're honestly down to very minimum amounts of money, I would say go for it. But that's because I'm very poor with my art stuff. That and I've drawn gay fish before. But besides that, they have a good point. Try and explore your talents more. Any good artist should do that. I did that. By like going into different franchises, trying different concepts. I mean, look at some of my own characters on DeviantArt. The link will be in the description. The one that I really did improve upon the most was Mallory. My very first OC. This OC has been controversial from the very beginning because people kept saying, oh, you just traced a Shantae base and you just colored it in. The reason for it is because Shantae was the original body image that I had in mind for my character. My character having a pear shape, having smaller breasts, but larger hips. She's a belly dancer, but not all the time. It's just something she picked up on her travels through the Great Ocean in One Piece. That's something she just picked up. You can't really bash at someone for picking up something that they enjoy. It was like me growing up and people kept calling me a weeaboo because I like Asian culture. Not just Japanese, but Chinese as well. I really enjoy how vast their culture is. Like their vast number of yokai, the food culture, the celebratory culture. I love that they celebrate Valentine's Day in 2 separate days. That is awesome. And they have a seasonal festival. They have a spring festival, they have a summer festival, a fall festival, even a festival during the winter. That is pretty epic. And it's because they celebrate for the land rather than just themselves. Kind of like how I appreciate in Mexico they have 2 days for their Day of the Dead. It should be called Days of the Dead, but whatever, I guess that's just the way they call it. Anywho, enough of a rant from me. I just wanted to shout out to these artists in particular and say thank you for saying a lot of the things that I've been too scared to actually say to a lot of people. And this is the poor kid who I want constructive criticism, and no one will give it to me. Like, every time I put up an art piece, everyone's like, wow, that's awesome looking. But I'm just like, I'm going to college for art. I want the criticism. I want to be picked at. I want to be, like, dissected apart and told what needs to improve. I'm a good imitation artist, meaning I'm good at imitating other people's styles. Hence the reason all 3 of my OCs are drawn in 3 separate styles. It's to portray that. Losel is drawn in more of a simplistic style, but still having the color detail. Mallory is drawn in part of the original style towards Shantae, kind of leaning back to my all-inspiring kind of air towards Shantae. I loved the character, I loved the game, and I was recreating my character from when I was like 7. Mallory was a character I made when I was 7. My persona, on the other hand, the style is kind of reminiscing back to a certain artist I really, really like, and I wish they'd notice me a little bit more, named Sleepykinq. And if you don't know them, they do animation memes and so forth, but their art is so stylized, it's actually really interesting to watch it. Seriously, go check them out. The links to these people's YouTube/DeviantArts will be in the description, so go check those out. Also, I'd like a good amount of people to, like, maybe suggest some more ideas for videos. Maybe, like, a game I could go look at or something. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, I have quite a few games in my arsenal, and I have quite a few of them that I would love to play again. I just don't really have kind of a mindset to do so, and having some suggestions to do so would be a big help. So, without further ado, this is Shiny Jules, and I will see you all in the next video, and I promise you I will bring much more content than just the shout out delivers today. So thank you for watching me, and I'll see you again. Bye!